NTSB today, out with its initial findings on the New York City subway collision and derailment earlier this month happening on Manhattan's Upper West Side. It basically comes down to, quoting Led Zeppelin, a communications breakdown and a possibly archaic way of moving disabled trains. So what's being done to make sure you're safe on the New York subways? Here's 𝗏𝗡𝗪 News reporter Josh Reininger.
How we doing, guys? Everybody all right?
It was the last thing strap hangers expected as they went about their day earlier this month. Their fully loaded one train collided with another train, injuring 24 people and raising a million questions about the safety of the subway.
We're going to look at everything, not only the individual actors, but are there processes or procedures that we could improve to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Today, Richard Davey, the head of New York City Transit, reacted to a preliminary report from the NTSB calling into question protocols around communication and policies for moving trains that are out of service. The trains collided and jumped the tracks just after the new year. The train on the left had been empty and out of service and was being moved to a yard. A supervisor at the controls way back in the 6th car with nowhere to see where it was going.
I'm yelling now on the radio, stop the train, stop the train, stop the train.
And you can't get the train to stop.
If he doesn't adhere to my commands, my verbal commands, I'm helpless.
Transit worker Andy Valentine told Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett he was in the front, guiding the supervisor by radio. But as they approached a red light, he says the supervisor never acknowledged his increasingly frantic calls to stop, and they slammed into the one train, which had 1,000 passengers aboard.
And I almost lost my life that day. I put all my trust in the supervisor to do the right thing. And he almost took my life that day.
Today, the NTSB said it's focusing on transit's operating procedures when moving out-of-service trains, its radio communication procedures, mechanical procedures when taking a train out of service, and the lack of federal requirements for cameras or recorders on commuter trains. The MTA says it's ready for whatever the investigation may reveal.
My expectation is the NTSB will, as they always do, have a professional report that will give us some recommendations on how to improve.
Obviously, weeks later, things are back to normal here at the 96th Street 123 stop, but 24 minor injuries could have been so much worse, and the questions do linger about the circumstances that led to this near disaster. The NTSB will take several more months, maybe even a year, before it completes its report and issues its recommendations on what the MTA should change.